Phase 1, 2012, now this is from our notes, was 100.
Well, these are all of these numbers that you'll see, the variations of some of those are the basic count of each of the rooms and as the growth comes. Now, obviously, the phases will come on as-need basis, most specifically the third. But we should reach, it will reach right at a 400 bed, just under 400 beds.
And how many jobs is that going to support at that point?
It is my understanding that that will be in the hospital alone between 2,500 and 3,000 jobs in the hospital.
Okay.
And just to clarify, those 400 that you were talking about, that's not licensed, that's every kind of
Total
bed?
overall beds, yes.
Okay. So the 250 beds, how does that translate to license? Because you mentioned 177 beds, 100 generally licensed. What do you think the 250 beds is going to translate to?
I don't have a clue.
Okay.
60%.
And will you be opening with ICU and those kinds of beds?
Yes, we will be.
Do you know how many about, or?
I've got all the specs. I'd have to go off memory.
Okay.
I really I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. See what we got next. We already talked about largest single employer in West Austin. What's the next nearest largest employer? All the way downtown. Really.
Prescale, AMD.
AMD, I want to say AMD is probably the largest, and that's really southwest Austin. But I mean, they're already kicking up some more activity there as well. You know, again, the hospital and what's in it is great and it'll work well for us. You know, back to what I made a comment earlier, the tsunami that's coming, it will change the face of all West Austin. And it's
Well,
gonna start right
each of those salary jobs we talked about, it supports a minimum. I know from all the demographics of when Dell came here, one real job supports 3 more real jobs. You know, so that's going to be huge. Where we're looking at potentially 3,000 jobs with three jobs per. We're looking at 9,000 jobs. And guess what? All those 9,000 jobs, because of the economic ripple of what a hospital does, they're going to need places to live. And one of the very last slides I'm going to show you is going to be very interesting because the lack of rental property here in Lakeway. We're going to see a supply and demand situation where you may also think about getting your clients to be thinking about investing in rental property here because of the tsunami that's coming. And what does that mean, supply and demand? We get to raise rents, and we get to longer leases, and they pay off our mortgages for us.
Do you have any idea of the, whatever it is, 13 to 1,800 or 3,000? I figure a hospital as opposed to like a chip factory, you don't have to live next to the chip factory. In a hospital, if you work at it, you're not going to be commuting from Round Rock for the critical jobs. So of those, do you know what percent of critical
One of my
jobs?
first big sales was to a baby doctor, and she had to be literally 15 minutes,
Right.
no matter what. So the doctors have got to be, if they're any kind of like that kind of thing, they're going to have to be closed.
Part of the requirements of level 3 and level 2 tribes.
Right, but I guess my question is do you have any idea what percentages that are in those critical jobs of the total number? Because not everybody, needs to be living next door to the hospital.
No, but if you look at a 3-mile radius around here, there really is not a lot of rental property. We're not in a rental area. So,
Right, no.
then what do? And those apartments are 98% full already. But a lot of that has to do with their school district. People are moving here, they get their kids in the school district, then they go buy a home. So it's gonna, no matter what, it's gonna help our economy here. Okay. We already talked about the doctors relocating in their time frame. This is the numbers that Dan gave me. They'll add 3,000 units. It will have an impact. There's no doubt about it. Some of the roads, we talked about the redesigning of those, realignment of Wild Cherry, and you're going to make it 4 lanes then.
That's what the initial designs were for. Wild Cherry will stay as it is. It's a 2-lane. But that portion of the roadway along the hospital to Wild Cherry, which is the realignment of Flint Rock, will be 4-lane, 2-lane divided.
Okay, and we'll have a light, so we're going to be good there.
Yeah, the light will be installed on an as-need as traffic study goes.
Okay.